Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video, preparing for Dokkan Battle video, and most importantly, this is something I do want to talk about in length. Now, the characters we are going to be Dokkan Awakening today are all characters who fit into one of the categories, and in particular, how the category system will impact Dokkan moving forward. So, real quick, let me just go ahead, because there's a couple more characters we're going to be doing this time than usual, let's just kind of move quickly here. The first two characters we're going to talk about are they're relatively decent units, they're TURs. The others are more so just getting an advantage with the category system. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk, let's go ahead and talk about this Android 18 right here. She is a pretty solid unit. This is Breathless Struggle Android 18. Her leader skill is Intelligence, Tech, and Strength, Ki +2, and HP attack and defense 30%. So that's actually an interesting leader skill. That's covering quite a variety of types. Almost makes me want to try like a video out with her. That's interesting. Her super attack is the Sadistic Dance, which does supreme damage to enemy and greatly lowers their defense. Greatly lowers is pretty useful, but again, it's only so good on certain events, lowering defense. Now, 18's passive is Weaken Regeneration, which is useful when you're fighting the the Tech or Strength Cell bosses. And then she changes Rainbow Key Orbs to Intelligence Key Orbs, and then gives herself 30% attack and defense. Now, this is interesting. I do think the Key Orb changers who change a solid color to a rainbow color are superior, but it is still useful having orb changers even of this ilk on certain teams, in particular the Intelligence Kid Buu team, because Intelligence Kid Buu does not have any key links. So it is good to have any, means of giving him more key that's possible. And this Android 18 is indeed an extreme unit. Now, her links are Infinite Energy, Android Assault, Twin Tears, Battlefield Diva, Soul vs. Soul, Nightmare, and Fierce Battle. But the one big thing I wanted to talk about real quick is this right here. She does have the category skill Peachy Peachy Gal. So, this will be a factor when you do the Master Roshi event to get turtle shells. So right here, based upon what rarity they are, it gives you a better % chance of actually getting turtle shells. Now, I believe this only applies to the base, rarity of a card. So, for example, like if I would awaken this Mai right here to a UR, that wouldn't increase the chance of getting a drop. But for a unit like this Android 18, she was a base SSR. Now we Dokkan awakened her into, a Transcendent UR, a base UR, and now the % chance will go up. So that's obviously really useful in getting additional Hercule statues if you're going to run a World Tournament team, if you're getting additional Turtle Shells by running a Peachy Peachy Gal team, or even the new Yo Son Goku and Friends Return event where you want the Fusion category. So that's very important. The next unit we're actually going to be taking a look at is this guy right here, the living meme himself, Maju. Now, Maju was one of the worst SSRs for a long time. His Rebirth is actually solid. I mean, there are definitely better units you can run on Super Strength over Maju, but this guy, he's no joke. He actually can be quite useful. This is Powers Combined Maju. His leader skill is All Types Ki +3. His super attack is the Majin Beam, and he does supreme damage to enemy and lowers attack. Now, obviously, lowering attack is really, really handy, especially on Global. If you wanted to run this guy and you have the Strength Paikuhan, who is that Global exclusive, plus your Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Gogeta, you could build a nice little defensive team there, by lowering attack. Just to give you guys some perspective, lowering attack is lowering your enemy's attack by 15%. Greatly lowers attack, lowers your enemy's attack by 30%. So even 15% is a sizable number there. Now, Maju's passive is attack and defense 7,000 when HP is 30% or above. So obviously the flat bonuses are not too good. The passive is called Recognize Power, by the way. But, you know, lowering attack does make him useful, and he still does have more use than he used to. His links, Rival Duo, Master of Magic, Majin, Cold Judgment, GT, Fuse Fighter, and Shouting Limit. A lot of these won't do you very much good, except for GT, really, on Super Strength. And he does also have the Shadow Dragons arc category, which is a little strange, I guess, because obviously this guy was from the Baby Saga, but he does have a role in the Shadow Dragon arc as well. He is a category unit, and that's why we went over him here. The next unit we're going to go ahead and go over is actually, we have Skinny Failure Gotenks right here. Let's go ahead and awaken him up. Now, this will be useful for the Yo Son Goku and Friends return event, because the fusion category will give you increased drops there, and there are actually some good prizes you can get there, including that intelligence Gotenks, so you could farm up your strength and agility Gotenks. That could be very, very useful. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. He was a lot better back in the day, but he's not really quite so good anymore. Like, okay, what his purpose was before is not really as meaningful now. I'll go over it. So this is Overexhaustion Gotenks Failure B. His leader skill is Tech Type Ki +3, HP, attack, and defense 20%. His super attack is the Dynamite Kick, which only does huge damage to enemy. Now, real quick, the leader skill, the reason, like, his big value was having this kind of baby god leader skill, but now, obviously, we have the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Tech Goku, who does that only better. So, this guy has less of a purpose, especially when you look at his passive, which is half hour of tolerance, attack and defense 5% per key obtained, and recover HP with candy. The recover HP with candy, that of course is during the physical Kid Buu and intelligence Kid Buu boss fights, but attack and defense 5% is not really going to do much for you. His links are Saiyan Lineage, The Innocence, Fuse Fighter, Fusion Failure, Bombardment, Supreme Power, and Super Strike. Not really that great. I mean, I guess if you're going to run him on a fusion team, he does have Fuse Fighter. But mainly for me, at this point, the purpose for me is he does have that fusion category link. So that will help in the Yo Son Goku and Friends return event in terms of drops. Alright, so the next unit we will go over is the Fat Gotenks right here. Let's go ahead and Dokkan Awaken this bad boy. Now, same thing with this one. Just like the Skinny Gotenks, not really going to get a ton of value out of this guy. In particular, I don't like his passive. A lot of the nuking passive units, it's just not good. Like, it was good way back in the day for about a minute, and then boom, like, we're past that. As soon as bosses started having more than one phase, nuking was basically irrelevant. So this is Chunky Body Gotenks Failure A. His leader skill is Physical Type Ki +3 and HP, attack, and defense 20%. His super attack is the Wild Boar attack, which does huge damage to enemy. His passive is half hour of endurance, attack 12% per physical key orb obtained, and then recover HP with candy. Again, the recover HP with candy is specific to the Kid Buu bosses, so not really going to help you out too much there outside of that. And then attack 12% per physical orb. Unless you have orb changers, you're not going to be able to make good use out of that passive. So not really a big deal, I don't think. His links are Saiyan Lineage, The Innocence, Fuse Fighter, Fusion Failure, Bombardment, Supreme Power, and Super Strike. Now, I will say this. His link set does fit pretty damn good on like Super Physical or an LR Trunks Physical lead, because he does have like Fuse Fighter, Innocence, Saiyan Lineage. Those are some pretty common links, but overall the unit I don't think is good enough to merit an option on that team. And then of course lastly, he does also have the Fusion category, which will increase that drop % chance in the Yo Son Goku and Friends return event. We're going to do 2 more units. They are of course Super Strikes, but some of these Super Strikes do indeed have categories, which is important. So next we're going to go ahead and look at the Cyborg Tau over here. Let's go ahead and Dokkan Awaken this guy. Now, this guy actually is pretty good for the LR Goku grind, because that 4th stage, of course, is physical. And this Cyborg Tau does have interesting abilities, especially if you get him to SA-15. Okay, so here we go. Cyborg Tau. Let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy right here. So, this is Intensified Killing Cyborg Tau. His leader skill is Strength and AGL type Ki +3. So he could be useful, more so back in the day, because now you could just run Grandpa Gohan, who kind of has like that baby god leader type leader skill. His super attack is huge damage and has a rare chance to stun, the Super Dodon Ray. So the stunning could be useful. His passive is Martial Spectacle, high chance of attack 70%, which is a 50% chance, which is decent. That's the same rate Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has of dodging and countering super attacks, which in my experience does happen quite often. So he can hit pretty hard. His links are Crane School, Supreme Warrior, Coward, Bombardment, Revival, and Super Strike. Absolute trash, garbage. Don't take a second look at those links. But what's interesting is that at Super Attack 15, he actually is able to fire off his super attack at 9 Ki, which is useful when we consider the fact that he is capable of stunning. And the last thing is he also does have the World Tournament category, which is useful in farming Zenny. That will get you more Hercule statues from that Hercule's World Tournament event, which I do believe is very, very important. So this guy could be good, since there's not a lot of World Tournament units that are of high rarities like that. And we will do one final unit today, and this is actually Mighty Mask. Same thing with Cyborg Tau. Mighty Mask actually does have the World Tournament category, so this guy is pretty useful in farming Zenny, actually. So, wabam. Unfortunately, though, outside of that purpose, I don't see a lot of value to him because he does have a very, very bad passive, but we'll get into that in a second. So here we have Mighty Mask. Let's go ahead and take a look at him down here. So this is Peculiar Collaboration Mighty Mask. There we go. Can't fucking talk. Damn. His leader skill is AGL and Tech types Ki +3. So that could be useful in certain circumstances, I guess. His super attack is the Final Cannon, which does extreme damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense, which is nice because, like, this is one of only a few super strikes that actually has extreme damage. Most of them only do huge. He does greatly lower defense, which is cool, but I mean, that's only going to be useful against the Broly bosses. His passive is Fearless Onslaught, which is attack 50% when facing 2 or more enemies, which is basically worthless because the toughest fights always only have one opponent, so you're not going to get a ton of value out of that. His link skills are Blazing Battle, Bombardment, World Tournament. Wait, it's Blazing Battle, Bombardment, World Tournament Reborn, The Innocence, More Than Meets the Eye, Super Saiyan, and Super Strike. He does have Blazing Battle, so he's a good unit to bring against Broly, but there's obviously much better options on Mono Tech. And the event is so old, like, I know Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta can literally steamroll the event by himself. Just a leader Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, friend Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then a team of anything, and you could crush the Broly event. So not really that big of a deal anymore. At SA-15, he just gets that 20% attack boost. So nothing really too crazy about him. And he does also have the World Tournament category skill. But, guys, this is important. On Global, prepare your units now, because having these category units, at their maximum rarities will help you in farming, especially in these events where categories increase the drop rate. Pretty cool system. I do like it. Kind of similar to Naruto Blazing. The more things Dokkan takes from Naruto Blazing, the better, in my opinion, because Naruto Blazing is phenomenal. Very, very good. But that will do it for today. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good one, and peace!